Mandla
away to
Insoleto Africa.
Africa
Insoleto.
Okay. Are we good to go? Yes. Okay. Press conference by Talakawa's parliament. According to Martin Luther King Jr., the foremost civil rights advocate of blessed memory, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Yes.
Gentlemen of the press, comrades in the struggle for the emancipation of the plebeians, my brethren, you are welcome to the Sanctuary of Justice for this news conference organized by Talakawa's Parliament on the recent happenings in Asheshe community in Ogun State, where officials of Christ Embassy allegedly employed the services of some armed naval officers and policemen to obstruct the enforcement of a valid court order, which ordered the removal of a perimeter fence obstructing access road to the property of one Mr. Paul Roy Audu, who has been using the access road for more than 10 years before Christ Embassy decided to start development of its property within jurisdiction. As critical stakeholders and advocates of peace, justice and equity, it will amount to the murder of justice and peace if we keep mute. It was Dante that said in his Divine Comedy, the hottest places in air are reserved for those that maintain their neutrality in the midst or during the period of moral crisis. Gentlemen of the press, you are fully aware of how 16 military personnel were ambushed and murdered in the most barbaric manner in Okoma community of Owoli South local government area of Delta State by some indigents of the community who felt that they were oppressed by some military officers that led to the outright invasion of their community by soldiers. We don't want the replication of the Okoma killings in Asheshe community. That is why we are crying to naval authority, to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to intervene in the interest of justice and the rule of law. It must be noted that the High Court, Ogun State High Court, Abeokuta Judicial Division, presided over by Honorable Justice B.B. Adebowale, gave a ruling in favor of Mr. Paul Roy Audu in the suit filed against the Incorporated Trustees of Inner City Mission for Children, BLW Nigeria Limited, and several Ogun State officials. The order mandated the demolition of an unauthorized fence, perimeter fence, blocking a public access road to Mr. Paul Roy Audu Properties and Company. He has been using the same access road for more than 10 years before it was blocked. Videos obtained reveals the conspicuous presence of Nigerian naval personnel kneeling with guns aimed at the youths and employees of Ife Ventures, the demolition company tasked with implementing the order of court, as if they were in Sambisa forest searching for terrorists and probably trying to free kidnapped victims from the hands of kidnappers. The sight of armed men in uniform compelled the workers to abandon their equipment and flee for their lives. It must also be noted that same Ife Ventures had previously attempted the demolition on Wednesday, July 3rd, of 2024, but we are similarly threatened by the same naval officers. It is extremely sardonic and lugubrious that the naval officers have deviated from discharging their constitutional responsibilities, hereby protecting the rich and capitalist class who take delight in oppressing the people because they assume that they are helpless and helpless. In the case of the governor of Lagos State versus Ojukwu, the Supreme Court dwelt copiously on the need to obey court judgment and orders of courts. To allow court orders to be disobeyed would be to tread the road towards anarchy. God forbid. It was Martin Luther King Jr. who said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and our life begin to end the day we become silent about things that matters. The naval officers' presence and threat to open fire if the workers proceeded with the demolition created a climate of fear and tension in the community. If they had proceeded with the demolition, they would have been killed, and they would have killed the people. If they decided to do the job at night, people would die and some would be missing. The incident highlights the growing tension, lawlessness in the region, as court orders are met with armed resistance, putting lives at risk and undermining the rule of law, hereby promoting anarchy. As lovers of peace, justice, and the rule of law, we want to humbly demand as follows: 1. That the perimeter fence blocking the access road approved by Ogun State government be removed and erected where it should be, in compliance with the outcome of police investigations and the order of courts of competent jurisdiction. 2. That the naval officers involved in the lawlessness should be investigated and be sanctioned by the authority in the interest of peace in the community, as youths in the community are so agitated. 3. That the naval officers should desist forthwith from allowing themselves to be used to abuse and violate the order of courts. A stitch in time saves 9. So also we have evidence of can present the documents.
Evidence from the Bureau of Land and Survey and Ogun State Government Urban and Regional Planning Board, gazetting the fact that yes, this land in question was actually allotted to Mr. Paul. And I wonder why the Navy, would allow themselves to be used by bourgeois or Christ Embassy, as it is in this very case, to molest people and go against court order. I think that being Christians who practice according to what the Bible preach, they are not supposed to tow this lane. They are supposed to follow court verdict, and not become oppressive. Show leadership by example, and not go to the Navy. In the first place, it's not within the jurisdiction of the Navy. To venture into land matters. So I wonder why they are encroaching, from their original duty, and they are entering a community in a commando-like manner. What they would have done or exhibited, they should have gone to Zambiza Forest and do that. But they left Zambiza Forest. They are now entering an ordinary community because of a land matter. or road passage or access to road. The display, they would have displayed this, and they are not displaying it in that place. We are humbly calling on the Helm of Affairs of the Nigerian Navy. Please let them look into this, not with kids' gloves. They should not wink an eye on things like this, because it's not within their jurisdiction to go into land matters. They should bring the officers to book. This is a civil matter, it's very obvious. So I wonder why the Navy, in all their tech know-how, will now be leaving important matters and be jumping into trivial matters like access to road. So please, the Navy head of affairs should please look into this matter. Let us know the officers who went to do that in that community, who are contravening or going against the orders of the court. I think the court is the common hope for the common man. That is where all resolutions to all matters should be gotten, and not this one turning the lane of going to use a military or force over a land matter which is supposed to be civil in nature. Please, thank you.
Can we get those documents?
Who are you to the report? Sorry.
Okay,
Is a member, is the publicity secretary of
Talakawa's parliament.
Please, can we get a copy of
This one, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we can attach it to the address.
Okay, sir.
There was just not more typographical error there.
But it not be issue now.
And finally, two places again. Now, we see them. Two places again.
Questions, Abi?
Yes, yes.
My name is Lucky Omai. I work for Daily Sun newspapers. I want to know, we're talking about a different state, this Edo state,
Yes.
going beyond this state.
Yes.
Are you invariably telling us that there are no other civil society group or other group that have done this, rather than championing another state's affair?
Thank you very much. You know, this is the International Secretariat of Talakawa's Parliament. Talakawa's Parliament is not an Edo State-based civil society organization. It's got across Edo States in microcosm, and Nigeria in macrocosm. Sometimes we even travel to neighboring African countries for intervention. It is not mandatory for people within that jurisdiction to handle issues like whenever there are issues, they forward the complaint formally to the International Secretariat, where we quickly activate in the interests of justice, peace, equity, and good conscience. Questions, please. Okay, Prof.
My name is Ibuanzes Before. I work for the National Protest Group. I'm here for the Tonga newspaper. My question is, before you proceed to this press conference, have you also heard from the person who violated the land? Have you get his response if what your client is telling you is really cogent?
Yes.
To
Thank you very much. In law, we have a magic that says repsisa liquitor, which simply means fact of things speaks for itself. There is a valid court order. Would there is civil a report, an investigative report by the police for status quo to be maintained. This matter is pending before court of competent jurisdiction. There was an order that says that status quo should be maintained. That was why these people mobilized to execute the order of the court very peacefully in the presence of policemen. When this naval officers came in a commando-like style, threatening to shoot anybody that go against their directive So it is sad. We'll just rely on the order of court, but we'll try to reach out to that person. We couldn't get across to them. Based on the order of court and documents from the Ogun State government, Oba Regional Planning Board, and the Bureau of Lands and Survey, Office of the Governor, we decided to rely on documents and videos at our disposal to address this press, because we don't want what happened in Okwama community to happen. Evil tribe where good men decide to say or do nothing in the interest of peace, in the interest of security. That is why we are addressing the press.
Okay.